Now
on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 6:06 as we charge along this very busy Friday morning. Stick with us. You'll hear so much about the upcoming Virginia elections. We're going to kick things off in 10 minutes with Juan Pablo Segura running for state senate in Loudoun County. 6:35, John McGuire is running for state senate District 10. Then at 7:05, Bill Wolf running for state senate in the 30th district. That's Danica Rome territory. 7:35, we'll check in with our friend Sam Sorbo, actress, film producer, her new movie, Miracle in East Texas, along with her husband, Kevin. He played Hercules, you know.
I love that show. That's how I first got to know about them. Yes.
You're really excited.
Anything that where people are killing each other, like chopping them up or shooting each other, I love it.
It's 7:45. Fairfax Vice Chair of the Republican Party, Nick Anderson. And then at 8:35, Governor Glenn Youngkin. And that's Patrice Onwuka.
Can I qualify that?
No. I think it said it all.
Any TV shows and movies, especially period related, world wars or, current day.
Sure.
That's what I mean. I don't just want to see everybody chopping each other up and shooting each other.
Understood.
I love movies and TV shows with heroes fighting the
dig
bad
that
guys.
hole, Patrice.
I'm trying to climb out desperately.
All right, you'll remember Jamaal Bowman. Now he's a little unhinged. He screams a lot.
He's part of the squad, so of course.
Is he a male member of the squad?
Yes, he is. I think he's the only right now because they lost one last.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jamaal Bowman, of course, is the guy who disrupted the vote for a continuing resolution to keep the government funded several Saturdays ago by pulling a fire alarm in the Cannon office building and terrorizing his fellow congressmen and women and staff members. At the time, he said that he was confused about the door and he pulled the fire alarm thinking that it would open the door automatically because the signs on the door confused him.
Because he's never seen a fire sign.
Well, he claims this was a Saturday where the doors have different protocols. This was his story. And, of course, the media bought it. The media believed it.
They wanted to believe it,
His colleagues believed it. They put out a statement. And there's a clip of an MSNBC reporter, journalist, broadcaster, teleprompter reader. Really, that's her job.
That's what it is.
And she's reading this statement saying, we just want to clear things up. A lot of people are saying that Jamaal Bowman deliberately pulled a fire alarm. Here's what really happened. And literally just read the statement that the congressman put out. It's like, that's that objective.
That lazy.
So, and at the time, Jamaal Bowman, he was like, everyone was saying, you disrupted, you illegally pulled a fire alarm and disrupted congressional proceedings, delaying the vote. And this came right after Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader, said, we want more time.
Yep.
We don't want to vote right now. And suddenly, next thing you know, there's a fire alarm.
Yep.
At the time, he lied.
I don't know why this has gotten so much attention. I was literally just in a rush to go vote, man.
Yep.
That's all it was.
Are you afraid of any repercussions, either from leadership or from legally from Capitol Police?
I mean, listen, I take responsibility for what I did, but like I said, I was in a rush to go vote.
Well, all right, two things here. First of all, he didn't take responsibility for what he did. He negotiated a deal with D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab. He took the plea, but only if the plea included him having this expunged from his record. That's not taking responsibility. He literally is getting it wiped.
Pay the fine. 3 months from now, it'll be dismissed, and I'll be able to just continue to serve my district.
You mean it'll be dismissed, like it'll be expunged from your record?
I believe so, yes.
That's the deal?
Yes, yeah.
With Capitol Police?
ACD, the DCAG.
The DCAG. This is Brian Schwab, who is a Democrat activist. We've been telling you about him for quite some time. So he negotiated this, but this is a federal offense. This shouldn't just be a DC thing, right? And one other part of this.
Yeah.
They've now finally released. We only had this still shot of him pulling the lever. We never had the video. We now have the video. And there's no audio to it. I can describe it. He goes up to the doors. He deliberately removes the warning signs from the doors. Remember what his message was. I was just in a rush to get to the vote. Right?
So if you're rushing, you would just plow right through the door.
Through the doors. But he saw the signs that said, don't go through this door. So he took those signs down. Then he goes over and pulls the alarm. Now, remember, again, the story was he thought that would open the doors. So if he thought that would open the doors, you would think he pulls the lever and then tries to go out the doors or wait for the doors to open, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The video shows him taking the signs down, going over to the alarm, pulling the alarm, and then immediately walking in the other direction.
So totally premeditated.
Totally premeditated and had nothing to do with the intention of leaving those doors.
He wasn't trying to leave. He was trying to do what most kids who did not study for the exam do, pull the fire alarm so that the exam is postponed.
That's right.
That's what he was trying to do. And listen, folks, don't forget, Bowman is a teacher, and he was a principal.
Mm-hmm.
He actually knows the consequences of when students pull an alarm. Usually you get suspended. Sometimes you even get expelled because it's serious. Right. It's serious. It's not just disruptive. It's actually serious. So his intention was to be disruptive and was to delay the vote. And him playing, golly gosh, I don't know what I was doing. I was just in a rush is totally false.
It's totally false. And the video shows that he wasn't trying to get out the door. The video shows that he pulled the alarm and then ran quickly, or I should say walked briskly in the other direction, not even trying to go out those doors. He should be censured. And
yes,
Speaker Johnson should take that up. You know who else should be censured? Rashida Tlaib. Marjorie Taylor Greene read her motion yesterday to censure Rashida Tlaib, and the list of reasons why is incredible.
Resolution censuring Representative Rashida Tlaib for anti-Semitic activity, sympathizing with terrorist organizations, and leading an insurrection at the United States Capitol complex. Whereas in May 2019, Rashida Tlaib said that she celebrated the Holocaust and felt a calming feeling when thinking about the genocide of millions of Jews. Whereas in 2020, Rashida Tlaib retweeted an illustration with the caption, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." And this Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO slogan, has been adopted by Hamas and calls for the elimination of Israel and death to all Jews. Whereas in September 2022, Rashida Tlaib, as a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, displayed her disdain for Israel, saying, "You cannot claim to hold progressive values, yet back Israel's apartheid government." Whereas instead of denouncing the horrors of Hamas, slaughtering Israelis, and demanding the release of all hostages held by Hamas, Rashida Tlaib stated on October 8, 2023, "The path to the future must include lifting the blockade, ending the occupation, and dismantling the apartheid system that creates the suffocating, dehumanizing conditions that can lead to resistance." Whereas Rashida Tlaib exhibited her hatred for America by reposting a message on October 12, 2023, blaming America for allowing the deaths.
I can tell you the whereases here go on for another minute. There's a whole laundry list of things that Rashida Tlaib has done in concert with anti-Semitic, Jew-hating terrorists. And this just in, that didn't make Marjorie Taylor Greene's list. An independent watchdog group called Canary Mission confirms that Rashida Tlaib received extensive fundraising help with Hamas supporters. She employed no less than 3 Hamas-linked activists to fundraise for her 2018 campaign.
What?
And this is not some right-wing watchdog group.
Yeah.
She's directly connected
She's
to these radicals. Yeah.
She's compromised, and she cannot be trusted.
Yep. So there you go. I mean, the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has some work to do here.
Absolutely.
There's 2 members of the House of Representatives, Democrats, Jamaal Bowman and Rashida Tlaib, who at the very least deserve censure, if not expulsion. And in the case of Rashida Tlaib, in the case of both of them, they should face criminal investigations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the latest out of the House. It's 6:15.
It's here. Download the new WMAL app and listen anywhere you go, anytime you want.
Doing a lot of events. I've been doing a lot of events out in Loudoun County this year, as you can well imagine, with the election. And everywhere I go, people are saying, "Have you seen this Juan Pablo Segura guy? He is the real deal. He is the man for District 31, Virginia State Senate." And he joins us now. Thanks for being here, Mr. Segura. How's the campaign going?
Well, good morning, Larry, Patrice. Thanks for having me again. And the campaign's going great. I can't tell you how much momentum we have on the ground. We just did an early vote party last night at the polling location with mariachis and a food truck. And we had more than 250 Latinos show up and vote.
Wow.
I think half of them were first-time voters. That's what we're doing on this campaign. We're bringing people together. We have a message on opportunity, successful together, and that's why we're going to win. We just got to keep the momentum going forward.
And by the way, you've got a rally this weekend, and Governor Youngkin is going to come out there and campaign personally for you. Give us the details on that if you could.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so we've got an awesome kind of get-out-the-vote rally tomorrow, so Saturday at 3 p.m. It's kind of in this in-between area between the Plains and Middleburg, out in Fauquier County.
Oh, that's God's country. Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. 84 degrees out there with all the leaves, colors. It's going to be perfect.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. So yeah, we're going to have a great lineup. Starts at 3 o'clock, and please go to my website. There's or my Twitter. We've got a lot of information out there.
Great.
To find out all the details.
Terrific. Well, we're coming down to the last stretch here, and every evening while I'm watching the news, I'm seeing your ads and your opponent's ads. Russet Perry, and she's trying to hit you on abortion, and you're calling her criminal justice record and her support for releasing the criminals. Frankly, that's what you're hitting her on. Can you talk to us about why this issue is so important? And it sounds like it's and also from the Latino perspective, is this the issue, crime, the issue that you're seeing that's resonating with them?
Well, absolutely. Like we've talked about, I've knocked thousands of doors, gone to dozens of events, and law enforcement, making sure that we fully fund the police is one of the top 3 issues that we hear on the ground with voters. I was just recently endorsed. I've already had the endorsement of the sheriff of Loudoun County, the sheriff of Fauquier, but I got 31 more endorsements from sheriffs and Commonwealth attorneys across the country. My opponent, on the other hand, is incredibly proud of having worked for the radical leftist Commonwealth attorney in Loudoun County, Buddha Bibarai.
Wow. I don't know how she could be proud of that, but I think that says it all.
Yeah, who doesn't want to enforce the law? She thinks that hit and runs, evading the police are okay. And so there's a clear difference in this race. And we're excited to highlight that in our ads and make sure people know that I'm always going to stand with law enforcement.
Well, and by the way, not only does he stand with cops with regard to engagement with the community and making sure that he's got their backs for law enforcement purposes, but he also founded District Donut.
Oh.
Which, I mean...
We forgot to lead with that.
Cop's best friend is a good box of donuts. So right there, you got the cops' vote and support. That's true, by the way. But on a more serious note, I look at what you're emphasizing right now. And obviously, you just said, look, we had a couple of hundred Latinos come out here and vote, many of them for the first time. You're leading with parental choice. You're leading with parental rights and getting parents back, not just a seat at the table, but at the head of the table when it comes to the education of our children. I've got to think, especially for Latino voters who tend to be much more conservative and have those family values, this is really resonating with them when they're seeing what's going on with their kids in schools.
Oh, absolutely. And it isn't just Latinos. It's everyone across the district. They've had enough of not knowing what's happening in our schools. We, time after time, in Loudoun County with a radical leftist-controlled school board, they want to hide things from parents, whether it's sexual assaults, national merit scholarships from minority parents. They're trying to hide excellence and achievement in our schools. And Larry, and Patrice, this is so scary. I was talking to a reading specialist at one of the high schools in Leesburg. I just found out that 164 high schoolers are reading at a K through 4th grade level.
Oh, my goodness.
And so this is what we're up against. They've lowered standards. They don't want parents involved. You have to get parental permission to get an aspirin in a school, but when your child's suffering or struggling with who they are as a person, you can't find that out. And so So this is why we want to empower parents. We want to give parents the tools to make sure that they're involved in their child's education, just like a child has the right to have their parent involved in their education. And this another reason why we're going to win this thing, because parents are standing up.
Well, that's Juan Pablo Segura. You can see him in person along with Governor Youngkin and other candidates tomorrow, 3 p.m. Get the information on those Mr. Segura's social media pages. And I'm sure you're going to hear the governor at your rally, and he'll say it when he joins us at 8:35 today. We got to build our lead in the House of Delegates. We got to flip the Senate, and we got to save Virginia. And that starts with your district. That's where that flip in the Senate is going to happen. So good luck on this final stretch, sir.
Oh, amen. And please early vote. If you haven't considered early vote in the past, it is such a strategic tool for the campaigns. It lets us basically direct resources to the undecided voters. So if you haven't already, please consider early voting.
Absolutely.
We're excited, and come to a party. We're going to have more of them. So come on over.
Well, you're going to have some of those district donuts at the party? Is that?
Oh, you know what? I'll make sure to have one.
Good. Very good.
Just for you. All right.
Thanks so much. All the best.
It is 6:24. Did you say happy Friday? I don't remember hearing you say.
I did at the start of the 5 a.m. hour, but if I didn't, the 6 a.m. hour, happy Friday, everybody.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That was close. All right, coming up, Virginia Delegate John McGuire now running for state Senate down near Richmond, and you'll hear from him next. 6:36 on O'Connor and Company. Thanks for joining us here. It's Friday. It's October 27th, and it is the home stretch for the Virginia elections that Governor Glenn Youngkin have circled on the calendar over a year ago, saying this is it. This is where we really save the Commonwealth of Virginia. And to that end, you know that this program has been ground zero for all of the election information for the candidates that you need. And today is no exception. Coming up later in this program at 7:05, we're going to hear from Bill Wolf running for state Senate in District 30. That's against the very well-financed Danica Rome. Most of the financing, of course, from California. Then at 7:35, Sam Sorbo, actress and producer, brand new film with her husband Kevin Sorbo, Miracle in East Texas. 7:45, the chairman of the Republican Party in Fairfax, vice chair, Nick Anderson. And then at 8:35, the aforementioned Governor Glenn Youngkin will be joining us. Patrice Onwuka.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. It's times like this. We are both Marylanders here in the D.C. area, but it's times like this where I wish I lived in Virginia.
I wish I had the plethora of candidates to choose
seeing all
from.
of these great candidates, and our next guest is no exception. He's done the hard work as a delegate for Virginia, John McGuire. He also did the really hard work as a Navy SEAL, and now he wants to represent the State Senate District 10, which is just west of Richmond. Thank you for joining us, Mr. McGuire.
Good morning, Larry. It's Larry and Patrice, is that right?
That's correct.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Thanks, John. Like I said, it's the final stretch, and I got to say, because you're a SEAL, you're a member of the military, and your website, you've got 100% Second Amendment rating. And in Appomattox County, Buckingham County, Cumberland, part of Prince Edward County, this district, I know that the Second Amendment is important, and I want you to sort of reassert your confidence in America's right to bear arms, especially considering, based on the horrific events in Maine, we're seeing a big push by politicians to use that as a reason why we should undermine that right.
Well, I got to tell you, the Second Amendment is huge. I tell you, without the Second Amendment, we lose all of our other God-given rights. Actually, I would take it over to Israel. You think about earlier this month when Hamas did the surprise attack. They mowed down 260 young people at a dance party celebrating peace with no concern for their own safety, because they know in Israel it's very hard to get a gun. And so they could just basically do whatever they want and not worry about repercussions. So we all know the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And it's terrible what happened in Maine. My heart goes out to the families. But you look at Chicago, where they have the most strict gun laws in the country, and they have the most gun deaths every weekend. So it's our God-given right to protect ourselves, our family, and our children.
You know, John, I 100% agree with you. And speaking of protecting children, protecting the unborn is super important. And I'm just perusing some of the endorsements you have on your website, and I noticed that there are a number of endorsements from the pro-life movement. Can you talk about your view of pro-life issues in Virginia and what you would like to do?
Well, under one-party Democrat rule, they undid 20 years' worth of protection on life. And, there were a lot of talks about, you probably heard Governor Northam talking about letting a baby be born, lay on the table, and we'll see what happens. The Democrats call us extreme on that issue, but they're the extreme ones. You're talking about when a baby is born, letting it die. I mean, it's pretty extreme. For me, I'm a Christian, and in the Bible it says God knows who you are before you're formed in the womb.
Yes.
So I'm pro-life, and that's where my principles come from. I actually grabbed the microphone during Eileen Filicorn's reign and said, Madam Speaker, life is a miracle, and it must be protected at all costs. As a Navy SEAL, we use our strength to protect those that don't have the strength to protect themselves. So for 6 months, in every subcommittee, every committee all over the General Assembly, I carry a small camouflage backpack. Some people carry a briefcase, but I'm a frog man. Just to make you laugh. But, I have a baby sock. I've carried it on my backpack for 6 years, every committee meeting. And I've had some folks say, hey, you probably ought to take that baby sock off. And I said, no, I need to remind people that we need to think about, remember, and protect our most vulnerable. And I wish I could tell you that was my idea, but it actually came from Students for Life.
Wow.
One day they gave us baby socks to wear on our lapel, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to continue to carry this. So being pro-life is very important to me.
I'd also love to tell you, sort of pull on that thread of your frogman past, John McGuire, because there's a lot of discussion, and we've been leading the discussion, frankly, here on this program about our children, about our public school systems, and about how our education system has gone in the wrong direction. Of course, Glenn Youngkin is passionate about this. But you've been in this game for a while. After a life-altering injury, you started a company that specifically focuses on SEAL team physical training, and it focuses specifically on kids and high school students who need this. They need this discipline, and they need this aspect of their life. It changes their lives when they get into this military physical discipline, doesn't it? You see a transformation. I saw it with my own children. They go through a transformation.
Well, I did 10 years in the SEAL teams, and I got out. I started a business called SEALTeamPT.com, and I joke the PT stands for physical training, not part-time. But it's a place of respect. It's to help men and women and teenagers and kids become stronger, healthier, and more confident. And we do push-ups on kayaks, swim across the river, things like that. And, one day a high school football coach said, will you teach our football team leadership? And, of course, I'm a small part of what they did, but they won the state championship. So the team that got second place hired us the next year, and by luck, they won the state championship. So the next thing you know, we're working with Penn State, Texas, MIT, USC, and corporate teams in Rome, Malaysia, Argentina, all over the country. And, of course, I'm not busy enough. Now I'm trying to save our country in politics. But I see this as a way to continue service to our country. Our children today have less freedom than we had growing up.
Listen, that's a great story, and I love it. And I'm guessing when West Point called and asked if you could use, oh, I'm sorry, our calendar's full. We can't help the Army team, right?
No, I like West Point, but with the Navy. Go Navy.
Thank you. Let's stick with Annapolis. All right, John McGuire, good luck on this final push. Again, it's District 10, that rural area just west of Richmond. It's an important seat because this is one of those ones that will flip the majority back to the Republicans if all goes well. And good luck in these final days. You got it.
Yes, Larry. Larry, can I give a website?
Of course.
Sure. First of all, my slogan has been all year is I'm running for state senate so that we can un-California Virginia. You know about
good.
Yes.
Indoctrinating our kids in the class, and they should be taught, like Governor Youngkin says, how to think, not what to think. But the website, if you guys could check it out, is McGuireforVirginia.com. That's McGuirefor, and then Virginia spelled out.com.
You got it. McGuireforVirginia.com. Thank you, sir.
All the best.
God bless you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's 6:44. People throw the term Orwell and Orwellian around quite a bit. George Orwell, of course, wrote the two most important novels of the 20th century, I think, 1984 and Animal Farm.
Yeah.
He was from England, and in 1984, of course, talks about the thought police, right?
Yes.
Big Brother and the thought police. Well, in George Orwell's England, we have a video here of a woman who was arrested for praying.
My goodness.
She was arrested for praying on a public street. It was, of course, outside an abortion mill. But she was praying silently. In her, this is literally the thought police. She was
so they're
just
reading
standing
her
there.
mind.
Yep. Well, listen to this.
Part of an organised protest?
No.
You're not. Are you part of a pro-life organisation or pro-choice?
This is a police officer, by the way, interviewing this. But she's got a list of questions to ask before she issues the summons.
Organisation?
I am, but I'm not here in that capacity.
Okay. Are you protesting?
No.
Are you here to pray for the lives of unborn children?
It's a little bit leading, but no, I'm not.
Okay. Can your actions be carried out elsewhere?
I can pray elsewhere, but I want to pray here today.
Right. Why have you chosen the location here to stand?
You know this is an abortion centre that I'm standing outside of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you aware that there is a public space protection order in place here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you aware that you're breaching the public protection order?
I'm not, no.
Will you move from here to outside of the exclusion zone?
I don't believe I need to.
Okay. If not, why are you not willing to move outside of the exclusion zone?
Because I don't believe I need to. I believe I've got a right to be here.
Okay. Right. If you believe that you're present to protest in any form, obviously we're going to need to issue with a fixed penalty notice.
Sorry, can you explain that again?
Yes. If you believe that you're present to protect in any form.
If I believe what? Sorry.
If you believe that you are present to protest.
No, I'm not. I'm not here to protest. No.
Right. Well, you're in the PSPO. You're breaching it.
So I'm in the zone.
Yes.
But I'm not protesting.
Yeah. So you're going to be given a fixed penalty notice today. Okay.
You heard her over and over again say, "I'm not protesting.
I'm just praying.
I'm praying."
And she's not praying aloud.
Silently praying. And she got her fine. Now, this woman has been arrested before, and she actually got it thrown out of court. We'll see it happen again. The lesson here, first of all, is how terrifying this is, that they actually have this passed as a law in England, number one. But number two, frankly, this is exactly what the left would love to have here.
Oh, yes.
They would love to have this here.
Because, you could pray loudly to the devil in front of a Christian church, and it's totally fine.
Celebrated in some quarters.
Absolutely.
No, I tell you, this woman, instead of silently praying to God in front of an abortion center, she should have shouted anti-Israel, pro-Hamas, pro-jihadi slogans, and the police, they would have protected her.
Yeah.
Be afraid. This is where we're headed right now. It's 6:53. Coming up, Bill Wolf is running against Danica Rome. You'll meet him next. And remember that story about the Fairfax School Board candidate who shouldn't be on the ballot? Well, the good guys won this round. We'll tell you about it.